Hey everyone, this is Mr. Cine Hunter here. Today, we're diving into a science fiction disaster film called Warriors of Future. So sit tight and let's begin this incredible journey. The story begins on a futuristic Earth in 2055, where technology has reached extreme levels. Highly advanced robots are now widespread, working in nearly every sector, including alongside soldiers in military operations. Over time, this reliance on machines sparks massive wars between humans and robots. One by one, cities are destroyed, and the planet's vegetation, weather, and climate suffer devastating damage. To protect humanity, scientists develop a protective barrier called Skynet, an advanced technology capable of completely purifying the planet's polluted air. As a result of the war, radiation levels on Earth have risen drastically, killing many people. To counter this, the Skynet wall was built to keep the air, weather, and climate of every city pure and natural, allowing human life to continue under much better conditions. But suddenly, one day, a massive meteor crashes into an area called B16, causing a huge explosion that splits the ground. From beneath the soil emerges a strange vine-like plant called Pandora, brought by the meteor. And Pandora is no ordinary plant. It's a highly dangerous alien species that grows about 100 meters per second, crushing everything in its path. Its most terrifying aspect is that it grows uncontrollably upon contact with even a small amount of water, making it impossible to control. However, this plant also has great benefits for the modern world. If its growth can be controlled and it is planted around cities like ordinary trees, it could purify the air and greatly benefit humanity. A few high-ranking officers are seen discussing the situation. Among them is a military officer named Colonel Tam. She warns everyone that the current weather is dangerous. 2 massive storms with extreme rainfall are expected within a week. If that much water hits Pandora, controlling it will soon become impossible. Colonel Tam then introduces everyone to Dr. Chan, a renowned scientist in Hong Kong. Dr. Chan has developed a genetic weapon called the gene bullet, containing a virus that can control Pandora. He explains that if the bullet is inserted into Pandora's reproductive organ, called the pistil, it will release the virus, causing the plant to lose control and stop growing within a short time. Pandora will then start benefiting humans by naturally removing pollution and purifying the air. At that moment, a general named Li listens closely, realizing that if Dr. Chan's invention works, their city will no longer need Skynet. Meanwhile, Colonel Tam explains that a special robot is needed to deliver the bullet to Pandora's pistil, as ordinary soldiers cannot reach it. The pistil lies deep underground, and anyone attempting to access it would be instantly crushed since the meteor turned Pandora into a terrifying monster. The bullet works only in the pistil, so if the robot plan fails, they must execute Plan B, launching a spacecraft called Orca to deliver a massive missile onto Pandora. But this plan is extremely dangerous, because if that missile is dropped on Pandora, more than 1 lakh people living in the city would be killed. After hearing Colonel Tam's plan, Commander Chung says that they must come up with a plan to save people, not to kill them. Chung then takes Tam to meet a man named Taylor, the leader of an Air Force team responsible for executing the Pandora mission. They brief Taylor and his team on how the operation will begin. After that, the entire Air Force team quickly sets out on their mission, led by their leader Taylor. Meanwhile, inside one of the skyfishes, we see 2 friends, Lincoln and Connor, who have been working together for many years. On the other hand, when Taylor and his entire team enter Pandora's area, they encounter something that terrifies them. They notice a light drizzle, and if the rain intensifies, their situation could become disastrous. Without wasting any time, they quickly spread out around the plant using their helicopters. Meanwhile, Pandora starts absorbing the rainwater, slowly growing larger in size. As the helicopters approach Pandora, Commander Chang orders the mission to begin. The soldiers then drop 6 bombs on Pandora, one by one, each containing a gas capable of significantly weakening it. But whenever those bombs enter Pandora's body, it becomes extremely aggressive. Each soldier, therefore, continues to operate their skyfish with extreme caution. After a while, one of the skyfishes gets hit and catches fire, causing it to crash immediately. Now, Only 2 skyfishes remain in the mission, making the task significantly more difficult for the team. Despite this, the soldiers continue to fight bravely against Pandora. However, whenever the other skyfish approaches Pandora, it kills every soldier on board and completely destroys the ship. As a result, only 1 skyfish remains. At this point, Taylor realizes that the situation is beyond their control. They cannot possibly defeat Pandora in this way. Suddenly, Pandora attacks him, smashing the fuel tank of his skyfish and spilling all the fuel. Consequently, Taylor loses control of the aircraft. Meanwhile, Taylor and his team try to suppress Pandora by firing at it. At that moment, their skyfish is plummeting toward the ground, on the verge of crashing. Seeing the situation, Colonel Tam orders the robotic units to advance while instructing Taylor and his soldiers to hold back. The Orca spacecraft accompanying Taylor's team deploys 2 robotic units first. These units are a special type of robotic soldier designed for such missions. On the other hand, General Lee monitors the mission from the control room. Suddenly, he hacks into the Orca spaceship system and deliberately disrupts its controls, causing it to collide with several structures and catch fire. The ship eventually crashes into a building and shatters, killing all the soldiers aboard. Yet no one can understand how such a sudden and devastating accident happened. Now, only Taylor's skyfish remains to face Pandora. However, with their main spaceship destroyed, all communication between Taylor and the command center has been completely lost. Even so, Taylor heads straight toward Pandora's pistol. But since Pandora has already damaged the skyfish's fuel tank, the leaking fuel eventually causes the ship to shut down. As a result, Taylor and his team become severely injured, and their first mission ends in complete failure. Just then, their skyfish crashes, and flames spread throughout almost the entire craft. Taylor quickly drags his companions out of the burning wreckage to save them. Although their mission has failed, they at least manage to return alive. Later, Taylor and his team reach an abandoned hospital. Since Lincoln has been badly injured, they come here hoping to find something to treat him. As Taylor searches the area for medical supplies, a strange sound suddenly echoes through the building. It might be Pandora, but despite their fear, they remain calm. They manage to get Lincoln onto a bed, and Taylor leaves to look for medicine while Connor holds Lincoln's hand, pressing down to slow his bleeding as best he can. Meanwhile, Commander Chung drives his army tank straight to the B-60 area, where a man named Skunk is located. Upon reaching him, the commander explains that their rescue team has embarked on a critical mission to save Earth. However, for the mission to succeed, they need his assistance. After hearing the commander's request and realizing the gravity of the situation, he finally agrees to join the mission. On the other hand, Taylor somehow manages to find the hospital's pharmacy section. After searching for a while, he finally discovers an injection that might help Lincoln. Meanwhile, Connor begins to hear terrifying noises while staying close to Lincoln. He soon realizes that the sound is coming from Pandora, so he grabs his weapon and cautiously moves toward it. But before long, the giant plant lifts Lincoln off the bed and carries him away. At the same time, Taylor manages to establish contact with Commander Cheng. As they discuss the mission, a strange mantis-like creature suddenly attacks him. Initially terrified, Taylor quickly retaliates with his gun and, in an instant, kills the creature. Meanwhile, Connor searches through various parts of the hospital for Lincoln, convinced that he must be nearby. Following the strange sound he heard earlier, he enters a room and is horrified to see a bizarre creature devouring Lincoln. It turns out that Lincoln wasn't taken by Pandora, but by this terrifying creature. Connor quickly realizes that it is actually a type of insect connected to Pandora. Overcome with fear, he panics and runs desperately to save his own life. On the other hand, due to the creature's attack on Taylor, his communication with Chung is severed. Meanwhile, Connor manages to escape the creature's grasp and rushes straight into the hospital morgue. Inside, he finds an empty body storage compartment and quickly hides in it. As a result, the creature fails to find him. Just then, several more of the creatures begin entering the hospital one after another. Suddenly, the sound of a child crying echoes through the building. It turns out that a little girl named Pansy has been hiding alone in one of the rooms. Overcome with fear, she cries out loudly. When the creatures hear her crying, they start moving toward the room where Pansy is hiding. Realizing they are getting closer, she becomes even more frightened and begins screaming and crying louder than before. Whenever those creatures are about to attack Pansy, Taylor hears her screams and rushes to the scene. He shoots and kills the creatures with his gun, successfully rescuing her. Then he carries her and begins running to escape. At that moment, another creature suddenly attacks them, but Commander Chung arrives just in time and kills it. Afterwards, Chung searches the area and eventually makes his way to the morgue. There, he finds Connor hidden inside a coffin and pulls him out. He scolds Connor severely for leaving Lincoln alone, which ultimately led to Lincoln's death. Meanwhile, Taylor and Pansy are still inside the hospital when, all of a sudden, a swarm of creatures appears. In desperation, Chung contacts Skank through the emergency line, asking him for directions to escape. However, Skank struggles to help since the hospital is massive, and he can't figure out exactly where they are. As the group continues fighting off the relentless creatures, they eventually rush into a nearby room to hide. With no clear escape route, fear and tension rise among them. Just then, Skunk comes up with an idea. He quickly moves to the front of the hospital and uses his gun to blast through one of the outer walls, creating an opening for them to escape. Afterwards, Taylor and his team become deeply concerned about a critical issue. The gene bullets they had brought for the mission were left on the Orca spacecraft. Soon after, they arrive at the crash site, where the spacecraft lies in ruins. However, since Pandora has already destroyed many of the surrounding buildings, locating the spacecraft becomes very difficult. As a result, they begin searching for it with the help of a drone. Afterwards, the three of them get ready to leave for the mission, but Pansy refuses to let Taylor go. Although Taylor tries to comfort and reassure her, she won't listen. She's terrified. Seeing this, Connor and Cheng decide to go on without him, leaving Taylor behind with Pansy. Pansy then tells Taylor that long ago, when the Earth's air became toxic, both of her parents died from poisoning. She was the only one who survived. Since then, she has lived alone, fighting every day just to stay alive. She says that after losing her parents, Taylor is the only person who has ever shown her the same care and affection that a father would. That's why she is so afraid of losing him. Hearing her story, Taylor becomes deeply emotional. Her words remind him of his own daughter, who also died from the toxic air. The memory brings tears to his eyes. He gently hugs Pansy and silently promises himself that he will never let her suffer again. Meanwhile, Chung and Connor locate the bullets beneath the rubble using their drone. Immediately, Chung activates his armored suit, a specialized piece of equipment that allows soldiers to move rapidly from one place to another. He attempts to ascend the building as quickly as possible, since that's where the box of gene bullets is trapped. However, after climbing a significant distance, Chung's energy begins to drain completely. As a result, he ends up hanging precariously in midair. Just as he is about to fall, Taylor arrives and catches him, saving him from a deadly drop. At the same time, the building they are in has become dangerously unstable and could collapse at any moment. Realizing this, they rush to find a way out. While searching the area, they notice a car hanging precariously nearby. Inside it, they find the gene bullets they have been desperately searching for. However, upon reaching the car, they realize that only a single bullet remains. Meanwhile, Connor discovers a fragment of a soldier robot among the debris. At that moment, he immediately realizes that it was the robots who caused the Orca spacecraft to crash. Elsewhere, Chung and Taylor continue their desperate attempt to retrieve the gene bullet. With Chung's help, Taylor tries to reach the vehicle through a water pipe. Just then, the creatures appear and begin advancing toward Chung. Despite the danger, Chung clings to the pipe as tightly as he can. At that very moment, as Taylor finally grasps the gene bullet, the vehicle suddenly crashes to the ground. Without wasting a second, Taylor and Chung join forces to fend off the approaching creatures. During their intense struggle, parts of the damaged building begin to collapse around them, falling one after another. On the other hand, Connor detaches the head of the robot he had found earlier. Inside the robot's head lies a complex system that can provide them with crucial information. At that very moment, a car falls on him, and he is nearly crushed. But Taylor arrives just in time and manages to save him. From behind the car, a creature emerges and lunges at them. Fortunately, Skunk arrives at the right moment and instantly splits the creature in two. He then continues to take down the remaining creatures one by one with his weapon. By now, the building has become extremely unstable, on the verge of collapsing entirely. Despite the danger, they all manage to navigate through the wreckage and escape safely. Afterwards, they all move to the truck's communications section. Connor then connects the robot head he brought to their monitors, and they discover that someone hacked the system, which caused the Orca spacecraft to crash. Connor then inspects the robot's command system. After checking everything for a few moments, they all discover that Lee was behind the incident because the robot required a fingerprint before it would accept any command. Everyone is shocked. How could Lee commit such a betrayal? Meanwhile, it is revealed that the second storm will arrive in just 30 minutes. If it hits, the situation will completely spiral out of their control. So, Chung leads his entire team toward Pandora once again, determined to fit the gene bullet inside it. But shortly after they start moving, they notice that Lee has sent a massive robot to attack them. The robot immediately attempts to strike, and the team quickly prepares to fight back. Taylor and Cheng continuously launch bombs at the robot, while Skang attacks it with various weapons. Suddenly, more robots appear, and all three of them jump onto the truck. Thinking quickly, Skang slams the brakes, causing one of the robots to fall to the ground. Seizing the moment, Skang drives the truck straight into it. Meanwhile, Taylor uses a high-tech weapon to disable another robot within seconds. Back on the truck, Taylor engages a robot on top, while Chung battles the one inside. Together, the team fights to subdue every robot. During this chaos, the robot outside throws a grenade into the truck, and it lands straight in front of Pansy. Thinking quickly, she immediately throws the grenade back outside. On the other hand, Taylor grabs an axe and strikes the robot with full force, smashing it to pieces. But suddenly, a missile is launched toward them from a distance. As it rapidly approaches, Skunk skillfully swerves the truck to one side, causing the missile to miss its target and hit a nearby bridge instead. The impact triggers a massive explosion, destroying the bridge completely. Yet, due to the powerful blast wave, their truck is hurled through the air and lands on the other side of the broken bridge. By then, another robot suddenly activates. It immediately tries to push their truck off the bridge. Somehow, the truck gets stuck halfway and doesn't fall, but their time is running out. Realizing this, Chung hands the gene bullet to Taylor and rushes out to confront the robot himself. The battle between Chung and the machine continues for quite some time. Eventually, the robot releases the truck, but since Chung is fighting on top of it, both he and the robot plunge straight down. Meanwhile, Taylor leads the rest of his team toward their destination. After falling from such a great height, Chung remains unconscious for a long time, but after a while, he regains consciousness. Up above, the situation in the sky is worsening. A massive storm is expected to strike in just 15 minutes. On the other hand, Taylor and his team finally arrive at their destination. Just then, a powerful crab-like robot named Tamora appears. As it advances to attack, Taylor quickly hands the gene bullet to Connor and instructs him to go underground and attach it to Pandora's pistol hidden beneath the ground. Taylor then prepares himself to face the robot. He hides Pansy inside a nearby vehicle and explains the entire mission to Connor, handing him a powerful bomb to complete the task. Afterward, Taylor takes Skunk and heads off to confront the robot. Meanwhile, Connor arrives at the location beneath Pandora's pistol area. He carefully places the bomb, aiming to break through the surface and expose the pistol. At the same time, as Tamora prepares to attack Taylor and Skunk, both of them unleash heavy fire on the robot. However, no matter how hard they try, they cannot inflict any serious damage. Taylor barely manages to dodge its attacks, moving out of the way just in time. On the other hand, Skank quickly prepares a missile on site. At that moment, Taylor climbs onto the robot and smashes the disruptor attached to it, the device that had been blocking their signal. As soon as the disruptor is destroyed, their signal reaches the command center. Meanwhile, Taylor narrowly escapes Tamora's grasp. Just as his armored suit runs out of power, he risks being caught by Tamora. At that critical moment, Skank fires a missile at Tamora, causing part of a nearby building to collapse onto the robot. Elsewhere, when Connor detonates his bomb, the robots buried under the rubble rise and begin moving toward him. One of the robots opens fire from a distance. Just then, Taylor arrives to help Connor, Throwing his full strength into the battle, the robot lands a heavy punch, knocking Taylor's helmet off and leaving him severely injured on the ground. Just then, the robot pulls out one of its most powerful weapons and prepares to shoot at Pansy. But at that very moment, Taylor suddenly remembers his own daughter. Overwhelmed by the memory, he forces himself back on his feet and uses all his remaining strength to stop the robot. Skunk quickly prepares another missile and launches it directly at the machine, finally managing to destroy it. But soon after, heavy rain begins to fall. Within moments, Pandora awakens once more and soon resumes its rampage, spreading destruction all around. Meanwhile, from the command center, Orca 2 spacecraft has been launched. It is equipped with powerful missiles, ready to execute Plan B. Just as the team is about to begin the operation, Chung suddenly appears and tells Colonel Tam that his condition is critical and that he might not survive much longer. He instructs them to cancel Plan B, insisting that he will enter the pistol to deploy the gene bullet himself. With that, Chung takes the gene bullet and enters Pandora's pistol. However, he soon discovers that the deadly creatures are still inside. Back in the city, a massive storm begins to rage, and Pandora starts growing rapidly, unleashing one destructive wave after another. Panic spreads among the people, and terrified residents start fleeing the city wherever they can. Meanwhile, Chung activates the gene bullet inside Pandora's pistol. The virus contained within the bullet spreads throughout Pandora, killing all the creatures inside. Gradually, Pandora's growth slows down and eventually stops. Shortly afterward, Dr. Chan announces to everyone that their team has succeeded in the mission. Upon hearing this, everyone at the command center and throughout the city celebrates in joy. Amidst all these events, Tam suddenly hears a gunshot. When she rushes to General Lee, she finds that Lee has taken his own life. Since Skynet was a massive project created by Lee, he was determined to keep it intact at any cost. To achieve this, he wanted to destroy Pandora using Plan B. However, because Taylor's team successfully completed their Pandora mission, Skynet was no longer necessary. Moreover, he even tried to kill them. With no other option left, he ultimately ended his own life. After this incident, quite some time passes, and Pandora no longer harms humans. Instead, it purifies the polluted air and helps regulate the Earth's atmosphere. As a result, humans no longer need Skynet to survive on Earth. In the final scene, we see Taylor and Skunk in the B-60 area. Skunk has now joined the military as a soldier, while Taylor starts enjoying a peaceful life with Pansy. The world has also changed. People everywhere are finally living in harmony and peace. Meanwhile, Taylor boards a highly advanced spacecraft and sets off toward the moon for his next mission. So, what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe for more awesome content. I'll see you guys next time.